The Tudor Pelagos has been described as the perfect dive watch, at least by me, but I think objectively it is an incredible watch for the money. I own the full-size LHD version and it's one of my most popular videos with regular traffic, so YouTube agrees. To be honest, the only issue I had with that watch was its size. It's a big chunk on your wrist and it can become a little tiresome in regular wear. As I grow in my watch collecting, I'm really moving towards 40 being the perfect diameter in a watch. I sold my LHD early this year to buy some camera equipment, but I missed it. So when Tudor released the new Pelagos 39, I joined the internet in one long beeline to Tudor's site and all of the review sites, hungrily looking for content. We are seeing more reviews now and I'm going to add to that thanks to my friend Neil that lent me his. So once again, I'm putting myself in a dangerous situation. If this is the perfect watch, then this could become potentially very expensive for me. In theory, this is the perfect Tudor Pelagos, but I do have some serious concerns and you may be surprised to hear some of them. Whether you're a huge Tudor fanboy like me or not, I hope you join me for some objective thoughts. If this is the first video of mine you've seen, thank you for being here. And if you like what you see, I would really appreciate a like and subscribe. Thank you. The biggest change to the original is obviously the size, so let's cover that off first. The diameter is indeed 39mm, but the bezel is 40mm to offer grip off the case. It's exactly 12mm thick. I measure 46.8mm lug to lug, and lug width is 20mm. I'm going to cover off things I love today, and also 3 issues I found with it that is not acceptable at the asking price here in Australia of 6,000 Australian dollars. And if this makes you angry, please know that I love Tudor. I think they make some of the best watches at the price, and my recent Ranger review had me fall in love all over again. Firstly, the many good parts. This dial is again really cool. The indices is something I've never come across before in luminescent ceramic composite hour markers. Close up, they look a little like white chocolate. One big difference here is how they're not recessed into the rehaut like on its larger sister. I understand why that's not the case, but I miss that a little. It's a great little touch that's not immediately obvious, but on the other hand, they were hard to center in those slots. The logo print is as crisp as you'd expect. There are no applied steel details here, it's all printed, as is the text with the model name, water resistance and the other things that Tudor thinks we should know. I like how we got a red highlight on this black model, which is something you only get on the LHD version of the bigger sister. It's also the dial that brings the first big issue to light, and unbelievably, it's the Lume, something Tudor always nails. I'll come back to this. The sunray satin finish is attractive, and whilst I understand the argument that it's perhaps not befitting to a serious dive watch, it looks great in real life and will present no issues underwater. To my immense surprise, it's the bezel that's my second concern. The bezel on my LHD is without a doubt the best bezel I've ever experienced. It is perfect. This is not that. I can tell you that it was quite a shock to turn this gritty feeling thing and have it actually come off in my hands. Not a good feeling when you're borrowing someone's new watch. I couldn't see anything wrong with it upon closer inspection, so my suspicion is that the slight lock you experience at 12, which is such a lovely feature on the full-size watch, is somehow creating issues here since it's more of a lock than a different feeling slot on the larger version. But that said, it's very gritty even upon reattaching it, and to say I'm unimpressed at the price point is an understatement. So okay, let's leave that one alone for now and move on. This could be a one-off on this particular watch, and that's fair enough. My friend is taking it back and I'm sure Tudor will do the right thing. The case is typical Tudor greatness. Clean lines, and if you're into this dull grey titanium look like I am, then you'll love what you see here. On the crown side, the sculpted crown guards are lovely, as is the signed titanium crown, which is very easy to grip. It pops nicely and is the usual perfect feeling Tudor movement. If we turn the watch over, we see nothing as per usual, but speaking of movement, within is the caliber MT5400, which provides the power, and it is an impressive in-house movement that's COSC certified and offers a power reserve of about 70 hours. From experience, I think Tudor bracelets are as perfect as their Rolex siblings. You may not love the 4 rivets on the Black Bay watches, but there is no arguing about quality, and on the Ranger and all other Tudor watches, the bracelets are perfect. But today, unbelievably, I have complaints about this bread and butter part of the Tudor. First, to the great bits. It's a comfortable wear, and the individual screw-in links are easy to adjust yourself, and again, this dull grey titanium look is in my opinion very attractive. Also, the T-fit adjustment system is way better than the funny looking clasp on its bigger sibling. It's easy to adjust and works perfectly. So what are the issues then? Well, they are twofold. Look at this fold over lock in reality versus the picture from the website. Why you'd ever want to be viciously stabbed in your fingertip by a pointy shield when taking off your watch is beyond me. Seriously, it's a ridiculous feeling to have to navigate around a very sharp angle every time you want to take your watch off. How this ever passed through the design stage, I'll never know. It might look great, but in practice this is a stupid design flaw, and the fact that it's a little loose as well further plays the case against it. The second, albeit smaller issue I have is a diver's extension. This worked perfectly on my LHD. Here, unless I hit the precise angle to refold it back in, it not only won't close up, but I could potentially damage the whole thing by attempting to close it up, since it's not obvious what's happening here when you're not using a macro lens. Sure, this is a small thing, since really, will you ever use that? But again, this is a watch from the Rolex group. They make the best bracelets and the best diver's extensions around. And if I've just come up from a dive with wet hands, trying to wrangle my way out of a wetsuit and have a warm drink, I don't have the energy to carefully position the angle of my extension so the clasp closes up. Again, the LHD was just a fold-in that worked perfectly every time with no fiddly bits. Finally, the Lume. This is a bit of a Tudor signature, so again to my surprise it is a major miss. I don't have to try particularly hard to illustrate this, since it's so obvious that the only thing that matters, as in the hands on a watch, are so much weaker than everything else. This has been a huge surprise to me. I expected this to be another slam dunk for me, and I guess many of you. This is the perfect size with all of the refinements learned from its larger sibling. So how did it go so wrong, one ponders? Even if the bezel QC issues is unique to this particular watch, how is the Lume so bad? And let's not even get back on the shield stabbing. Some of you may suspect that this is a fake, but I can assure you that the paperwork all matches up and it's been purchased from a reputable dealer. I hope that this is a one-off stumble and future releases are seriously improved and are in the hands of fans that are not scared to speak up about questionable design decisions that somehow made it through to production. I can't be the only one that found these issues, so I'm sure Tudor is listening and will improve future Pelagos releases. Until then, I would not spend my hard-earned money on this 39 model, I'm sorry to say. So what are your thoughts here? Do you think I'm too harsh? Leave me a comment, and thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time.